I'm an intellectual.
Yo, what's going on, people? It's your boy Kim. Welcome back to the F.Y.I podcast, episode 26. And this podcast is going to be a little different. I'm going to do a little narration in between. We interviewed my homie Kai Nielsen. We went to school together briefly in middle school, but we kept our friendship throughout life. And as we've both grown as men, doing the necessaries of figuring out what it is that we're on this earth to do, we've both, been able to see each other grow. And I've seen him, grow up and be able to do some things that I think are pretty incredible, especially for his age. So we're going to talk a little bit about his background, his upbringing from St. Croix, the Virgin Islands, where I'm from. We're also going to talk about education as it applies to the children. His passion is education and giving back to the youth, which is always a talking point, something I get excited about. And we're going to talk about some other things, man. This episode is going to be a two-part episode because he came into town really quickly and he insisted that we got the interview done. So we got what we could. And we're going to definitely get more in depth on part two. But I hope you enjoy. And sit back, relax, and listen to some of the gems this brother is going to drop, man. Peace. Yo, what's going on, people? It's your boy, Kim. And we're back, episode set 26. We're out here tonight in Snellville, Georgia. Somewhere deep in the woods, linking with one of my good brethren who was in town. This man is a man of the people, I think is a perfect way to first describe him. And we're gonna get into some of his accomplishments and some of how he even got to arrive into where he's at today and the projectile of it all. But first of all, let's welcome Mr. Kai Nielsen to the show this evening, the Flying Intellectual podcast. My boy, my homie, I've known Kai since the 7th grade, right? Some years now. Man, I just remember Kai always being, the dude who gonna stand up for you, you know what I'm saying? If he rock with you, you always know Kai gonna be on your side. And it wasn't until later on in life where we recognized we were Taurus brothers. So, so that was something in itself. So just to see how those stars align. And we were just talking about, off air about how things line up. It's never just chance, right? It's all about fate. It's all about deliberate actions. It's all about the universe and God lining things up to make it all work. So I love that my brother wanted to come on the show this evening and share with us stuff that he has going on back in the Virgin Islands, which is special to me for many reasons. Obviously, being the birthright of all people and being born and raised there and watching him grow and now be a tangible force in the community. I'm excited to just chat with him for a little bit, man, that he's here. So talk to the people, Kai. First things first. St. Croix, what does that mean to you? How did it start? Talk to us about your upbringing.
That's big. I feel like the intros need to have like a round of applause.
Oh, okay, I feel,
can't be shutting it down.
Oh man, I appreciate you, dude. I appreciate you.
Yeah, man, it's nothing but love. I mean, and to me, St. Croix is home. Period.
Yeah.
And I think that anybody who at least knows me, and knows what I stand for. St. Croix has always been the mission.
Yeah.
People are gonna say F.Y.I and collectivism is something that's necessary, but you gotta stand for something. I choose to stand for home.
Yeah.
And I think that was so special, Cam. I think that people from the U.S. Virgin Islands got to be raised under both this American flag, which means it's like natural state of assimilation. Like we grew up with 106 in Park, so we grew up to the same music genres that folks in our age group thousands of miles away did, so it's just real to have that island culture that's innately a part to you be so intertwined with American culture, and then to still be part of that system. And I think that system is something we want to talk about when the context come around. But surely just happy to be here, and always on the move, Kim, and I can't stop it. I'm a world traveler, and a lot of people get, and naturally so, a lot of people feel a way about me speaking about my world travels and the places I've been to.
Yeah.
But those are the experiences that have offered me the exposure necessary to have my perspective. You check? Like, I bring these things back home. I bring these solutions that I see taking places like Costa Rica back to the Virgin Islands. You check?
Yeah.
So, and that's what I want for the youth, them.
Yeah.
I mean, having you travel the world and Ghana, experience and education from places like Curacao, even traveling on soccer teams or sporting events, like that brings those youth a level of character that they need to have in this world. You follow?
Yeah. No, that's important. The youth always been a passion for you. So talk about your youth coming up. Like, you went to, I understand, Grove School Grove School was the beginning. Was that the beginning? Or?
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm out of Grove. Like, my family is Andrews. So Alfredo Andrews is my grandfather.
Okay.
Joan Andrews is my grandmother. She had a set of twins, and I come off of that lineage.
Okay.
And I, generations of Crucians running through me, and to be from Grove, and we spoke about that earlier. It's such a story in of itself. We talk about concrete roses, and that's why we could able to like sympathize with artists, and artists. You check, it's because we come from that narrative. We come from that had to get hard one deck. I could tell you. You check, like that's where we come from, out of Lorraine and Neutral Homes and Grove proper. If I was saying.
Yeah.
So as a child growing up in those streets, I had to fight.
Yeah.
I had to fight. I had to be a person that was willing to stand up for who I was and my family. Because that's a lot of times where there's a lot of group and tribal warfare. You know what I mean? And graduating from 6th grade with the highest GPA and being told that I cannot be the valedictorian because of my history. It was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking for a kid. Imagine telling a child who had worked to get straight A's for years. You
have an invested interest
in my education. You check what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And to be told that my resume would affect the reputation in the school is unreal, dog.
Yeah.
So from there, 6th grade teacher side. 6th grade teacher side, but we were all in the same class, Miss Stevens, you check?
Yeah.
But I remember Kate Thompson, of course. I'm still in contact with Miss Stevens to this day, and she was actually the one that bought my entrance exam into Good Hope.
Yeah.
She saw that she had to save me, and that's what she did, so. And one day, talking this into existence, I will have a Helena Stevens scholarship.
There you go.
For that age group, because we lose our kids in the arts in that 7th and 8th grade span.
Yeah.
I think that, and that's something we take for granted too. And they're starting this penitentiary pipeline from as early as 3rd grade, bro.
Absolutely.
So by the time you get to 6th grade, your destiny has already kind of been configured
predetermined. Yeah, absolutely. Something you've been pushed into a direction that you still, that big world that's still out there, you don't even, is already closing in on you. It's unfair to the child. Absolutely.
And they don't teach you the things you need to learn about. Like, where's the financial literacy courses?
Right.
Where are those courses? They teach us about hypotenuse theories that we'll never use. Like, I've never used the right angle in life.
Right.
And maybe because I'm not a carpenter, so there. But I just think that financial education across the board is important for every single American.
Absolutely.
If we are to say it that way.
So let's segue right there. Bloomberg. So you graduate college. Where'd you go to school?
I went to Lafayette College.
Right.
Story behind that too, man.
Talk to me.
Well, I literally got full rides everywhere I applied.
Okay.
I had a really rich history as far as struggle and overcoming, and I was really able to write about it because I can communicate. So writing was a strong suit.
Yeah.
And I remember I already got 5 full rides, and I'm like, this school's expensive. You're looking at like $53,000 a year at this point, for a kid who even my mom can't see that in a year. You check what I mean? And my father don't exist at this point. or ever. I mean, but the stay on point is, I get a phone call from Miss Dorado, and she was working for the administration office at Lafayette College, and she was a Puerto Rican, and she saw my application, and she saw that I didn't complete it. And she says, Kai, please complete your application. And I said, I have full rides everywhere already.
Yeah.
And Lafayette's pretty expensive, you know, so I don't think I'll be finishing my application. She says, Kai, please finish it. So I did it, and within a week and a half, I got a full ride to Lafayette, which I ended up going to.
Wow.
And really having my first experiences, like living in America outside of high school.
Right.
But while I was traveling through the International Honors Program, Detroit, Brazil, South Africa, and Vietnam, I came across some beautiful people who put me in line to work for Bloomberg Law. I was well on my way to go law school.
Okay.
I think I determined at a very young age I was going to be a lawyer. And to do what I thought a lawyer did, and to be doing that now for my community, is a beautiful vibe, Ken. Wow. I've always wanted to be the bridge between my community and its legal framework or its governing framework, and to be that person that could go out and do independent research and be paid for it, to bring back analysis and strategy and to be paid for it. That's now where I'm at in life, you know, and it really is something that's humbling, and I want to be able to share this passion with more people, and I'm happy a platform exists, because I think that, you know, everything takes time, Ken. You check what I'm saying, and your consistency is something to admire, and that's really what I see for as a listener myself. You know, as an admirer myself, and I want people to tune in, and I hope this voice could carry.
Man, I appreciate that, bro. It's just a passion. It's just something we share, and from the outside looking into all of our worlds, you know, I see many, you know, leaders on a large scale, but many low-key governors of situations, let's call it that. Like, even if it's not the political aspect of it, like, necessarily, but it is in many ways, but even if it's not, at the same time, like, y'all are really influencing people, and to have the heart to be the youth, just knowing that we want to inspire them, knowing that the mistakes we made, you don't have to make this mistake. You know what I'm saying? Here's the blueprint. This is what I could offer to you. You know what I'm saying? And that's important. So you finish your Lafayette, you graduate, how soon thereafter Bloomberg's knocking?
Oh man, so I actually finished my application for Bloomberg on May 17th,
okay,
which is my birthday.
Okay, right.
And by May 22nd, I had signed the contract to do the work by May 28th.
Wow.
So
that all happened so quickly.
And in between that time, I had to get a car, because I'm not from America, right? I'm from St. Croix, dog. Right. You know what I mean? I'm authentically from this place, and I think that gets lost in translation sometimes. But nonetheless, literally had 6 days to get a car and a place to live in this country to get to work, bro.
Not having that education about knowing really how to do it at that level
at all, and not having the purse, like not having the financial backing to pull money down on a car.
Right.
And I remember it like it's yesterday, man. I got all this money from graduation. Like, you know, people give you like $100 in a car.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah, man. And I was able to use that as like a semi-down payment on a brand new car. And I didn't cry on my graduation day, but when I stood there with my aunt and my car Jenny pulled around, I fell on my one knee, bro.
Yeah, man.
And it wasn't a materialism, but it was what it represented.
The symbolic aspect of it. Yeah, man.
That's why symbology is real, man.
Oh yeah, man.
And we could talk about that in many ways, but in that moment, it was like, wow, Kai, you really made it, dog. Like, you really come to school and did something that, and it's analogous to the American dream, and Chef was saying something that is very hard to achieve. You know, coming from, it does exist. It does exist, but very few people can even get close to attaining it. Right, and generally the people who achieve it are the ones who've been taught how to navigate the system.
And that's an important point right there, because it's a dichotomy of like thinking, yo, can I, as a entity, can I really? Let me see how to phrase this. I want to make sure I say this right.
Take your time, man.
Is it predetermined? Like, are we giving them a fair shot? Are we giving our kids a fair shot? Like, how much information is out there now? Like, are we giving them a fair shot?
I think that's a twofold question. Because is the information out there? Yes. And I think it's far more accessible now than it's ever been. Like, we walking around with computers in our pockets, dog. Like,
it's everywhere.
Like, information is there, and we risk being the most informed yet the most unintelligent generation to come across. Yeah. You check me, like, look how hard it was for our forefathers to get access to information. Yeah. Like, niggas was getting their eyes peeled out for trying to read them.
Trying to read.
You check?
Hey guys, I hope y'all are enjoying the podcast so far. There was a lot of good knowledge and backstory in that first segment. Kai came in town for a really short period of time, so he hit me up and insisted that we got what we could get done as it applies to the interview. So we were around a lot of homies, so people were kind of like walking in and out. So that's why we're taking a quick break. But we're going to hear from our sponsors over at Anchor, and then we're going to hear back from Kai on the second half. Thanks for tuning in. See y'all in a bit. What are you listening to these days?
Wow, I actually just getting back into like listening to music daily, bro. So I just like real like listen vibes. Is it Gold Links? Yeah, I like that project. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, above all else, 444 really getting a lot of plays. Man.
Yeah, still, yeah. That's just what man's them mentally.
Period. And it's wild because I do a lot of jogging now. So I try to jog like 3 miles a day. Mm-hmm. And I jog to music. That's how I actually became a jogger or runner, as they would say. And it's like 444, they got a lot of rips, you know. Shout out to Freddie. Freddie got a bad album out right now too.
Yeah. I've been trying to tell people about it. Yeah, Freddie.
Man, if you're listening to Coffee, definitely is her name
Coffee. Coffee. Yeah. She got that's bad. That Freddie getting a lot of plays by me. I ain't gonna lie, Pusha went off on that.
Is that Patience? Is it Patience?
Not Patience. The name of that track.
Education is the one with Black Thought on.
Yeah. Man, I don't have to look that up. But yeah, that Freddie is hard. I ain't really been listening to. I've been kind of fucking with this kid St. John. He signed to Biggs for Jay-Z that had went to jail for the marijuana stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, wow. They say it was they say it was conspiracy basically. So he was trying to buy medicinal properties out there, but this is before it was like popular. Okay. So he had a connect and somebody asked him for it basically. So they say conspiracy, basically one of those kind of things. But he was trying to do legal business, but the irony, bullshit. And he do I think 5 years or whatever. But this man from rock, technically, so like.
He's making a shake in the VI right now as I speak from my understanding of what's behind the scenes. Which is so cool a real cool cam, you know what I mean? I don't want to downplay the situation at all. And I think that it's a difficult balance to have between trying to be humble and trying to have these kind of conversations. You know what I mean? Because it's uncomfortable for certain people to be like, well, he's 30 and he's doing that with us, Kai doing all of that. It's not an easy thing for lots of people.
So, but you give those to the strongest soldiers, so you could take it. You know what I'm saying? You carrying what it takes to be a quote unquote a martyr, so to speak. You know, for your people.
I remember you brought out what I mean to you, dog. What does a martyr mean to you? I remember you. This isn't the first time you said that.
Yeah. I think anybody who's willing to stand for something, just stand on it. 10 down, you know what I'm saying? And we all know in life when you stand for something, you gonna get attacked. You know what I'm saying? Whatever that looks like. So just being able to know that you're gonna take those blows, but like you standing for something at the end of the day, to me that's a matter. You know what I'm saying? Like principles, whatever it is, morals, whatever it is, your belief system, you know what I'm saying? Standing on that. Don't waver, don't go with where the wind goes. That's what that means to me, man. So yeah, man, that's what I see. So let's go back to so you left Bloomberg. So how long were you there?
I was there for more than 3.5 years, man.
Yeah.
Like I literally was there from 2011 way past 2014. And towards the end of that year, my lease was up, bro. Like it was getting ready to end. I had this drive to do something for the territory. I remember I came back home because I wasn't feeling too hot, so I wanted to see like some medical folks back home. And I had this like innate distrust for medical vibes in the States, just knowing what I knew. So I wanted to go back home. And while I was home, I was meeting man like Bucci and Jumbi. And they were like, yo, you need to do something now. Like, I know you planning up, and like, I know you always getting up your sleeve. The island needs something now.
Yeah.
So I did the Ivor James Unity Games, and I brought together 7 of the 10 then elementary schools to compete in a one-day sporting event on Bull and Bread, aka David Hamilton Jackson Day, better known as Liberty Day. You check what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, to put my money up. I mean, bro, this is before people were willing to even give me a dime for the stuff I do. You check what I mean? I put my money up. And I remember at that point, like my last $60 was under my seat to pay for the sign. You check?
Yeah.
And I happy a man like you could see it, because there's a lot of effort that goes into it. You know, there's a lot of effort that goes into driving from school to school and ensuring that these kids have access to what you're planning.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it'd be like one person that could stop 20 kids from experiencing it, bro.
One person that just not willing to move at a time.
At all, dude. And it's like, that's what's so heartbreaking about it. It's like, it's not that our kids aren't interested. It's just like the people who have the keys to our kids don't want to give you access to them a lot of times. And that's what's scary, you know? And I'm not saying that, everybody should want to work on a holiday, right? Because you have to ask teachers to work on a holiday.
Right.
But if you're a teacher and you have this innate drive for the beneficial aspects of experience for these youth, right?
Yeah.
You should want that. You're going to find a way for that. Like, that's a holiday. Okay, and that's what other people did, like Mr. Padilla. I want to make sure to shout out folks, because you know, it's a community out there, people who really doing this camp.
The village,
man. And it's like, that's a man I could depend on. Like, that's a man who's about the kids. You check what I mean? Really into baseball. Beautiful wife, beautiful kids. And it's like, he brought Juanita Gardine, who ended up winning. Like, it was him. It was like his action. You know what, Kai? I like what you're doing, and I like your vibes. I want to try to help you. I want to make sure these kids come, and you got people like Spuddy picked the following year. Lumokal end up winning. So the first year Juanita Guardian won. It's a traveling trophy, and the trophy was a collective between June and Bumba, Mr. Alec Alasia, who now died, bro. It's like this trophy travels from school to school, and I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's a mahogany bowl with a queen conch shell in it. It was one of my Facebook banners. When you go back, you should check it out. It's a custom piece, yo, and it says peace, love, progression, and order, and it says the Unity Games, and the champion gets it, and it sits in the school for a year. You know what I mean?
just a thing of pride.
And then they bring him back and they compete again for it the next year, and they got a replacement trophy in its place in the school. You check. And the Hurricanes stopped us from doing, I think, three years in a row. The Hurricanes kind of disrupted that. But we're going to bring it back this year and every year after, you know? And it really kind of showed people how serious I was as a community advocate, you know? I mean...
Because you executed, right? You had an idea and executed,
it. And it's like, these kids are playing 3 sports at once, Ken. I have 6 different schools playing at once. 2 playing basketball, 2 playing volleyball, 2 playing baseball. After lunch, they all come together to run track. You check what I'm saying?
Wow.
And the points carry. And, you know, just doing innovative, cool stuff that I would want I've experienced as
As
a
a kid.
kid. You check
Right,
is what I'm
right.
doing now for the
Right,
youth and in
right.
my own way.
So you're still using your creativity, your childlike creativity, right?
Absolutely,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Absolutely. That creativity is coming out in all aspects of my life, in my work, as far as like when I do assessments, because people don't read no more. Like it or not, people are visual now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So most of my documents, I get paid to assess stuff, bro. I come up with the craziest looking visuals, just like layouts and images.
Yeah.
And then that's what's catchy to the eye now. So being able to like stay true to yourself and a creative tip is so key to being human, bro.
The word. Man, move. Lawns, man. Yo, my people, thank you again for tuning in. This last segment, the homie Lonnie walked in the room, or walked outside. Since we were outside, you could hear the elements. But we started talking a little bit all together about just the state of things currently, how social media and technology has kind of taken over our lives and affecting our interactive capabilities as people, man. So check it out. And this is the last segment. Once again, thank you for tuning in. Peace.
A lot of the superficial, and you see this with the phones, the iPhone. I don't know if it was meant to be that ironic, but it really is turning out to be, dog. Like people aren't having genuine interactions, you know what I mean? And when they are, they're awkward in it because they don't have enough practice or experience with it, dog.
And that's why
everybody's introverts.
Yeah, my boy, because their phone, yeah. And it's crazy. That's why I think our generation, like right there, that 89, 90, probably the cutoff, because we were allowed to grow up with the dial-up internet, the no YouTube, that
we went from nothing
to like
everything.
Yeah.
Like we saw it all.
So we have to learn to adapt.
You're right.
Like we saw it all. Like we went from like outside bike scooping,
Yeah, to inside video games.
to inside
Yeah,
phone.
yeah.
All kind of heck, my boy.
Like, but for us, it happened when we grew up. Like, so now we're 29, 30. We're grown men. So like, we know, we're conscious. It's not like we were born. Bro, I'd be telling my girlfriend, like, watching these babies with these phones. The fact that a baby with like 1 month can like perceive the difference between perception and reality, right? You put a simple filter from Instagram on the baby, like a crown or something. They looking on the phone. Is it real? I'm touching my head.
Like,
oh shit, this okay, so it's whatever is in this phone, that's what it is. And from then on, them are like, okay, now man know how to use these phones from birth, my boy. It's crazy. It's insane.
Also, I mean, they turn what's the AR now, like alternate reality and stuff. It's like they don't want you to pay attention to what's going on outside your front door, my lord. And I think as our tourist men, I think it's impossible for me to avoid what's going on around me, bro.
You're so in touch. Yeah, dog.
And
fucking
like,
hurt you like physically, like
so
literally.
I admit this to the team right now, right? Like there's certain, I think that every social media outlet has its like purpose. You check what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I really use Instagram as my art outlet. I really use Twitter as my vocal outlet. I use Facebook more as like my public facing. You check what I'm saying? Yeah. So like when I'm ready to scream out, bro, it's through Twitter. It's through this like outlet where I probably know not too many people here, but at least I put it in history in words.
Yeah.
Like, dog, this is happening in my time.
Yeah.
You check with me, and I never imagined that fuck like people in cages, dog. Like a president of this country speaking the way he is about like just mind blowing, dog.
The world just perpetuating a cycle, my boy. A vicious cycle, dog. Like things that happened in different countries years ago and that we found upon happening in our country and nobody don't give a fuck.
You know how deep it was to see at the FIFA World Cup these French people on the Fox Network on fuck Donald Trump in English, my boy. The whole France who hate we, my boy. Yeah. Oh, that's it. Like it's crazy, bro. Like it's insane. We live in history. Like we live in
100%.
Live in history. Bro. This is in the books.
That's what I'm trying to show you. Like that's why my actions, bro, gotta be so militant in and of itself. Like don't feel no way about it. I can't afford to stop and really pacify or nurse somebody who may be offended by me just off the rip of how I don't move. I can't afford to. Like the energy I'm spending on you and I talking about something that just waste of time at the end of the day. I now don't have to fight the fight that I fighting for you.
Yeah.
You see where I'm coming from? Because now you've stripped me of that energy and I still gotta turn on and fight the big beast. You try where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
And like navigate that system, bro. So ain't no, bro. I was the youngest president of the Rotary.
I was just about to say. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe, share, let your friends know, your mom know, your dad know. I mean, your dogs, whoever, man. Let's continue building this community together. We'd like to thank Kai Nielsen for coming on the show for part 1. We're definitely going to do a part 2. We got to talk more about his reign as the president of the Rotary Club and all the other things that are affecting the Virgin Islands, the economy, and all that kind of stuff, man. So we'll definitely be having Kai back on the show very, very soon. But if you need to, get in contact with me, follow me at F.Y.I Young Intellectual on Instagram, the F.Y.I Young Intellectual page as well on Facebook. You want to interact more intimately and one-on-one, hit me on Twitter at Legend of Chem. I'm always accessible, man. You know what it is. Just want to inform, inspire, interact with the people. So thank you again for tuning in, man. Until next time, peace.